What is up, everybody? It is Wick here. I'm starting to lose my voice, must be getting sick. So I'm going to keep this intro as short as possible. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of things you can look for out in the wild, places like thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, rummage sales. Buy them and flip them. Not every item is the exact item you should be looking for. It just gives you an idea of the type of items to look for. Gives you real examples of what I'm selling. My store has been on vacation for about 2.5 weeks out of this month because I had the retina detachment surgery, but I still got about 50-60 sales to show you. If you do like these types of videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. It helps the video out a lot and I appreciate you watching, but let's jump into it. Here's a nice flip. This is one of these Tiffany style turtle lamps. Got this one last year at a flea market for $15. Was able to sell it for $70 plus shipping. I knew it would sell for that because I've sold them in the past before. Ended up making some good profit on it. Here's a nice Louisville bat I got for $1 at a garage sale. This one is a rare bat. Couldn't find any comp information on eBay, but some similar TPS Power Dome bats were selling anywhere between 100 and I believe I seen them up to like 400. So I priced mine $175 plus shipping and it sold in about 5 minutes. So that tells me I definitely gave someone a good price. I probably should have priced it $250, $300. Like I always say, you can lower the price, but honestly, I thought I was pricing it higher. I almost priced it $100. I'm like, well, let me pop it up to 175, mostly because it had some dings and stuff on it. So it's not like this is in immaculate condition. There's no major damage, just some scrapes and scuffs. But some of these bats are a big money if you can find them, and I found it for $1. It's some great profit. I'll still take it. Here's a Nerf Vulcan gun. This one took longer to sell than some of the others I've sold in the past. Sold for $75 plus shipping. I believe I paid like $10 for it at Goodwill. Actually have another one downstairs I noticed yesterday and I thought, wow, I still haven't even sold the other one I listed. Took about 6 months to sell it, so I'll go ahead and get the other one listed and probably price it a little bit lower to move it a bit quicker, but made some great profit on it. $75 plus shipping. Here is a lot of 21 Angry Birds plush. Got these at the thrift store for 50 cents a piece. Now I said in my video I was expecting to make $200 profit on these. I was wrong. Easily going to make $300 or more on all the Angry Birds that I got that day. I've already made $100 on what I've sold, and here's another $100. This is just more of the common stuff, and I still have some rare stuff like that one sitting over there, which is like $80 to $90 by itself, and a couple other like $40 ones. So going to be over $300 once they all sell. This lot took about 3 weeks to sell. Here's this new inbox P-Trap by Water Creations. Found this in Goodwill for only $6. Sold it for $70 plus shipping. And it sold in about two to 3 weeks. Hasn't been listed long. I thought it would be listed for longer than that, but I'll take it. Here is a purple Angry Birds caged plush. Got this at the thrift store for 50 cents along with a bunch of other Angry Birds. I sold it for $40. It took about 2 weeks to sell. Here's a great flip. I sold this Erdl farm set. Got it at Goodwill for $4.99. Sold for $110 plus shipping. Took about 3, maybe 4 months to sell is all. Here's a little bit of a mistake I made. So these 8-track cassettes and this Peaches record and tapes crate that they're in. Messed up on it though. Unfortunately, I wanted to do an auction on this because I wasn't sure exactly what it was going to be worth with the 8 tracks. 8 tracks in general aren't worth a whole lot. I looked up each one and they were just selling for $10 mostly if they were even selling. But the crate alone will sell for $20. So I priced it $24.99, plus shipping, and well, I just listed it as a buy it now instead of an auction, which happens sometimes because I rarely do auctions. And it sold in about 10 minutes, so apparently it was a good price. Still made a little bit of profit on it, or will eventually because I'm selling one of the 8 tracks that's worth about $50 on its own, but still disappointing. I don't think it would have sold too much more, maybe like $30, $35, $40 maybe. I don't know. Since it's such a low dollar item, I'm not going to worry about like canceling the order or anything. I'll just ship it out. If I expected to get, $240 for this, I might just cancel the order and redo it all, right? But in this case, it's fine. Here's the last one of these Milwaukee filters I got at Home Depot. Sold for $15 plus shipping. They took around a year to sell them all. I think I had about 9 of them. Here's a pair of Doc Martens I got at the thrift store for $5. Sold them for $50 plus shipping. They only took a couple weeks to sell. Here's some new Corona Cafe mugs and plates. Got this at Goodwill for $5.99 and I sold it for $65 plus shipping. Only took about a week and a half to sell. It's going to be annoying to ship though, simply because of the way they're in the box. There's really no protection other than box. You can hear it rattle. So I put in the description that I was going to open it up and add bubble wrap inside and try to protect it, because I think just wrapping it with bubble wrap on the outside is not going to be enough for how brutal shipping is. Here's a Pioneer receiver. I sold this for $90 plus shipping. Walked into a Goodwill and this was only $7. It has the remote and everything. It is very, very, very rare to see electronics anymore like this in a Goodwill. And if you do, they're priced really high, so really awesome to find this for $7 and sell it for $90 plus shipping. Took about 5 months to sell it. Here's a Panasonic unit. It has the remote back there. Not sure where this came from. Sometime in the past year I bought it, but it's only been listed for about a week and a half, and it has sold for $85 plus shipping. I'm sure I didn't pay more than $15 for it, usually what I would spend. Here's a Speak and Math I got at a garage sale for $5. It's in the box. Unfortunately, it did not work. Don't remember exactly what was wrong with it. I put it on eBay for $10 plus shipping. I didn't know if anyone would want to buy it for parts or maybe the box. I think the paperwork might have even been in there. But sold it for $10 plus shipping. Took about 5 months to sell. Definitely wouldn't have bought this, to sell for $10 normally, but I figured I could get my money back. I might as well. Here's a Black & Decker laser level. I also have a Craftsman. I'm not sure where one of them came from. I know I got one at a garage sale recently for a couple bucks, but I sold it for $20 plus shipping. I think it's been listed for about 4 or 5 months. Sold one of these home decorator fans. It's in storage, so showing you the picture here on eBay. Sold for $90 plus shipping. Bought a couple of them at Lowe's on clearance for about $25 a piece, and it took about 4 months to sell. Here's a pair of Rothy's shoes. I got these at a rummage sale for $1, mostly because I've heard the name is good. I don't think I've ever sold any others. It seems like maybe there's a men's pair of Rothy's I found one time. Do they even make men's Rothy's? I don't know. It's probably been a while, because these have been listed forever, like 3 years or more. I paid $1, sold them for $25 plus shipping, so don't know how much I'll be buying Rothy's anymore. I guess it just depends on the shoe, right? If I see the name, of course I'll look it up, but yeah, these did take a while to sell. Picked up this Overwatch League 2020 card set. Brand new seal. Found this at Goodwill for $12. Was able to sell it for $60 plus shipping. Took about a week and a half to sell. Was going to price it a little bit higher, but it did have a small tear in it. Hopefully it wasn't resealed or anything like that. You never know buying something like this at Goodwill. This is not some big collectible card set. It's just kind of an off thing, so I don't think there'd be people resealing these just because they're not valuable, but you never know. Here is a Razor baseball bat. I believe I got this at a garage sale where I got a bunch of baseball bats. This one could have came from Goodwill though for around $5, but I sold it for $55 plus shipping, and it took about 3 days to sell is all. Here's a pair of new FootJoy shoes, women's golf shoes. Got these at Goodwill for $5. So able to sell them for $25 plus shipping. They took about a month to sell. Here's a G.I. Joe boar. Got this with a bunch of other accessories at a garage sale for $25. Made quite a bit of money on selling them all. Still got a few to sell. Sold this one for $15. Took about a year and a half to sell. Here's a new wireless HP mouse. Got a couple of these at a rummage sale for $1 a piece. I've already sold one. This is the other one I sold for $20. Took about 3 months to sell. Here's a Sony Blu-ray 4K player. Got this out of a free box from a garage sale and didn't have the remote or the power supply. The lady didn't know if it worked. The plan was to take it home, get a power supply, test it. They sell okay, I think around $40, but to get a power supply it was about $15 to $20. Unfortunately, all my tester power supplies and even the adapter set that I have for power supplies, nothing would fit this. Just some weird Sony adapter it takes. So I didn't really care after that and just put it on there for $13 plus shipping for parts, untested, and it sold in about 2 weeks. Here's a vintage Pikachu Pokemon Wilton cake pan. Got this at a garage sale for $1. Sold it for $35 plus shipping. Did take about 10 months to sell, but sold for some good profit. Got these for $1 a piece at a garage sale. Xbox 360 games, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. Bundled them together priced them $40, free shipping. And they sold in about a day and a half. I believe the Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition for the Xbox One is actually worth about $40 to $50 by itself. Here's some Matchbox cars I sold for $15. Don't remember a whole lot about these because they've been listed for a while. What I do remember is I got a bunch of different types of cars in a lot, and I sold the better ones. Then just a lot of these three together, priced them $15, forgot about them. A couple years later, they've sold for $15. So at this point, they're all profit. Not something I would just pick out and buy to sell, but since I had them, I just listed them. Here's a nice Carhartt jacket. Picked this up for $80 locally and was able to sell it for $500 plus shipping. It's one of the styles people are looking for. Detroit style, union made, stuff like that. A lot of these online had some various prices between like $200, $300, but I also saw some that sold higher, and this one's in pretty good condition, so I tried $500. It only took a couple days to sell. Just a really nice flip. Here's a Tony Hawk shred board for a PlayStation 3. Got this at Goodwill for $5 or $6. Been listed for about a year and a half. Finally sold for $45 plus shipping. Probably would not have bought this used, but since it was new, I figured I'd get a sale, and I did. Here is a Zip Spin DVD duplicator. Got this at a garage sale for $10, sold it for $30 plus shipping. I had sold one before for more money, I think around $60 or $70 I got at a garage sale. This one was either a different model or they just went down in price. Here is a Dragon Ball GT Radica scanners. Scan barcodes and fight other monsters and stuff. I guess in this case maybe Dragon Ball GT characters. Got this at Goodwill for $2.99 and I sold it for $90 plus shipping, and it took about a month to sell. Sold a Boss Super Chorus guitar pedal. Ended up selling it for $68 plus shipping. Found it at Goodwill for like $3 or $4 is all, if I remember correctly. It has been listed over a year. It took a while to sell. Profit margin was great. Sold some of these refrigerator filters I got at Home Depot for around $5. Sold it for $45 plus shipping. Down to my last two, and these took about 6 months average to sell. They've been selling throughout the year. Have some of these Frost King insulation listed as single packs for a while. They weren't selling, so I just put 4 together. Made a lot, priced them $30 plus shipping, and they sold in about 2 weeks. Got about $2 a piece into them. Freed up some shelf space, made some money. Here is a Toy Story Woody Nutcracker. Not an actual nutcracker, just a decoration. Found this in Goodwill for $6. Sold it for $28 plus shipping. Took about 3 months to sell it. Would have priced it a little bit more. It was missing the belt buckle. I did not notice. Actually, one of the buttons fell off too, but I glued that back on. It was a fairly fast flip for some okay profit. I'll take it. Here's this nice pair of Hoka shoes I found for $5. Was able to sell them for $70 plus shipping. Took about 5 months to sell. They're like new out of box, so very good condition. Then this pair of Brooks, which I sold for $15. I don't remember much about them. They've been listed for a while. Probably got them at a rummage sale for $1 or so. These actually seem pretty nice. I don't know why they were listed so long and didn't sell. A lot of times these GTS 18 and over, I get around $30 for, so not sure what's going on there, but that's just the nature of shoes. Sometimes they take a while to sell. Just an off size that not many people are buying. Here's a pair of Merrell World Legends shoes. Found these at Goodwill for $5. Sold them for $50 plus shipping. They only took about 4 or 5 days to sell. Here's a Control 4 Zone Matrix amplifier. Got this at a rummage sale for only $5. Was able to sell it for $180 plus shipping, and it sold in about a week is all. Control 4 makes some very high-end stuff if you happen to see that name. Got these vintage pound puppy carriers. I think I paid $2 a piece for them. There's 3 puppies that go with them, some clothes. Ended up getting it $25 for them. They took about 5 months to sell. Here are 4 Magnavox units. I recently sold 4 like this that were not working for $70 plus shipping. I have quite a few units I've picked up over the years. I've just been holding on to like this to list for parts when I get 4 of them. Here's another lot of 4 I sold for $70 $20. And these sold in about 20 minutes of me listing them. Same guy that bought the last lot bought these. He's probably going to try to repair them and probably resell them. That's fine. I don't have time to do all that, or do I want to? I'd say I got less than $15 a piece into these, probably some of them just $1 or $2. So I ended up making a little bit of money. And any of them that had remotes, I don't include. I sell the remote separate or hold on for other units. So if you're buying these at a good price, you can usually get your money back or make some good profit, because working with the remote, these sell for about $100 a piece. Here's a Mizuno baseball glove. I picked this up on my reselling travels at some point. Sold it for $20, probably got less than $3 into it. Looks like it probably took around a year to sell this model. Here's a vintage GE clock radio. I'm very picky. If I pick up something like this, it has to be in very good condition and very cheap. I paid $1 for this at a garage sale. It's in great condition. Very easy to test, so ended up selling it for $15 plus shipping. And it took about 9-10 months to sell. Here's one of these Craftsman screwdriving sets. I got it at Lowe's. Got 30 or 40 of them a few years ago. I sell an average of 1 or 2 a month, I think. Probably down to my last 12 or so. Here are 13 tubes of this weather-tight caulk. I got this at Home Depot or Lowe's for very cheap, like 20 cents a tube. Actually needed some of it. I think I kept like 2 or 3 containers and just decided to put the rest on eBay. Just priced them $25 plus shipping. Very good deal considering I think these are like $5, maybe $6 a piece normally. They did take over a year to sell. I'm kind of surprised. Figure, a contractor would buy them because they'd be saving a lot of money. But since I have so little into them, I made some pretty good profit. Here's a pair of golden Adidas shoes. I got these at a garage sale for $5 and sold them for $40 plus shipping. Took around a year to sell. Here are some JVC tapes that I got somewhere. They've just been in my inventory and sitting around in my way. I just saved them just in case I needed them for camcorders or something. I got plenty, so I'm getting rid of some of them. I sold some JVC cassettes a few weeks ago. I think I got about $25 for 6 of them. So I put these on for $25 for 6, and they sold in a day. So happy to get this stuff out of here and turn it into some cash. Here are 2 packs of these telescoping forks. Use them to roast marshmallows, stuff like that at a camp. Got a bunch of these at Walmart for 10 cents, 20 cents a piece on clearance. I sell some every now and then. I think I've had them listed for about a year and a half. I sold them for 20 bucks. Not bad for only paying like 40 cents. This is pretty cool. This is a 1958 Dennis the Menace doll. Unfortunately, it is not in good shape. Otherwise, I probably could have sold it for about $50. Paid $3.99 for it at Goodwill and sold it for $20 plus shipping in this condition. And it took about 6 months to sell. Got a few of these Home Depot filters on clearance. Sold it for $45 plus shipping, down to my last one. Here is a vintage Panasonic turntable. Got this at a garage sale for only $1. It unfortunately doesn't work. Could not get it working. Thought maybe it was just a belt issue, but it won't even receive power, it seems. So I sold it for parts and repair for $53.79 plus shipping, and it took about a month and a half to sell. There it is, everybody. That's what I have to show you today. Hopefully you learned something. These are the types of items that sell for me daily. The trick is to list as many as possible, make sure they're high quality items, you got the price right, and you will get consistent daily sales. Of course, realistically, there's some days you won't get sales, there's some days you'll get 10 sales. Usually how it goes for me. But on average, the sales do come in. It does take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of knowledge. But if you got all those qualities, you can make some money. Before you go, if you could hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Till next time.